How do you let a guy down when you've decided to go and date another guy exclusively? What do you do when the guy you're dating can't get over your past? And how do you handle a guy who is just 24/7 legit busy? Welcome to Ask Mark. We're on week number 20. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, etc. Doing what you do, sending in your questions. And this week we've got some really good ones. So make sure you hit the bell and subscribe, and we're going to get straight into the questions, starting with Lola. And Lola says, "Hey Marky Mark." Oh, also, none of you are allowed to call me Marky Mark. Don't know what it is, can't handle it. I've been dating two guys for a few months and am now exclusive with one of them. Congrats, Lola, that's really, really cool. How do I inform the other guy of this in a way that is honest but compassionate? I want to be firm in that we will not be seeing each other again, but I do also want him to know that I cared about him and gave him a chance. Okay, this is a great question from Lola, because Lola realizes that what goes around in dating comes around, and she's trying to make dating better for everyone by not doing this in a shit way. So Lola, the things you can do is you can break up with him, or break up, I say use the term loosely. You can do it in a way that's respectful, you can do it in a way that's honest, but you also can't take responsibility for his feelings. You have to do the best from your end, and then what he does, how he responds, you can't take responsibility for. So what can you do? Number one, you can mentally prepare him a little bit so it's not such a bombshell. So I would call him up and say something like, "Hey," let's say his name's Steve. "Steve, can we chat tomorrow? There's something I want to talk to you about." And he'll say, "What is it?" And just go, "No, look, I want to talk to you about this in person." So he's already going to get a vibe that something's up, and it's not going to be such a shock to the poor bloke. You want to do it in person is number two. So you definitely want to make sure you have that respect and do it in person. You cared about the guy, it's really the least you can do. Number three is, where do you meet him? I actually recommend doing it at his house, because you're probably comfortable there. It's an environment you know, and it's an environment that he can be comfortable in and absorb the blow at home after you leave. I would definitely have an exit plan. The last thing you want, which this can happen, it's a possibility, is you get all emotional, one thing leads to another, you end up having sex with him, which is definitely not what you want to do here, or what you want to even risk happening. If you are a little bit worried about that, take a friend along with you, have her wait in the car for half hour, an hour, grab a coffee or something. But yeah, I would do it at his place, or if you want to do it in like a public area, maybe near his place, say a quiet coffee shop or a park, or go for a walk with him around his place, something like that where he can absorb the blow afterwards while making sure you have somewhere to be. So you could say to him, "Hey, are you free tomorrow evening? Let's have a chat. I'll come around about 6, just FYI, I'll have to get out about 8. I've got a dinner afterwards." So have kind of an exit plan. That way he's mentally prepared. He's not going to think you're out on a date and then he gets bombed. He goes, "Okay, something's up here." You tell him how you feel. You say, "Look, at the moment this just hasn't been working for me. I have honestly cared for you so much. I just don't want to go ahead with this at this stage. So thank you so much for everything. I'm so grateful." How he responds, not your issue. All you can do is do it in a way that respects him. If he goes off the flipper, if he begs, if he cries, whatever he does is not your responsibility. Only worry about controlling the things you can control. That will take away a lot of your anxiety. Second question is a really good one, a really important one, and it comes from Sardonic. And Sardonic says, "I love these kinds of videos, Mark. Do you think you could do a video on how to date an extremely busy guy? I.e. his job is like 24/7, 365 type of deal." Okay, let me tell you a little secret right now. I've been this guy, and you can't date him. Now, if a guy is legitimately this busy, and this is rare, but if he is legitimately this busy, then he is incompatible with everyone. He is literally incompatible with everyone. Now, will guys make time for you if they really like you? Yes, they will. Will even the busiest guys? Yes, they will. But if he's legitimately so busy that he is just 24/7, 365, relationships are not a priority, and people will go through phases like this in their life where they can like you an 8 out of 10, but they're like, "I've just come out of a bad relationship, I'm feeling insecure with myself, I need to focus on myself." They're just so to any relationship that all they want to do is fill their time with work. They're not even giving the person, someone they quite like, a proper window. They're like, "Nah." Then no one is compatible with that man. no one is compatible with him. He's not prioritizing his dating and relationships now. And one thing that's great about this channel that I especially love about my clients is that you, my clients, are prioritizing dating and relationships. Making time aside, setting time aside for that. What you focus on in your life, what you make time for will grow and become stronger and better and more fulfilling. If he's convinced on being so busy that he's 24/7, 365, he's not compatible with anyone. Speaking from experience, I have been that guy. The nice thing about a busy guy is they're easier to read. They either make time or they don't. If a guy is only 5 out of 10 busy and he likes you a 6 out of 10, he's still going to make time for you, but you're going to end up in this confusing state where you're like, I'm getting some attention from him, getting some time, but I'm feeling like he's not that into it. You'll end up in a weird mixed single situation. Whereas if instead of a 5 out of 10, that guy was busy a 9 out of 10, he's just not going to make the time for you. It's real easy. So the nice thing about busy guys is they're easier to read. They either make the time or they don't. And if they make the time, if they put in the effort, and believe me, again, been this guy, speaking from experience, when you look back, when I look back, when other men look back, I was talking to another dating coach about this the other day, when you really like someone, a guy makes the time. One of the biggest rules is always judge a man first and foremost on his efforts. And one of the first things that his effort will be reflected in is the amount of time he makes for you. So if he's not making the time, he's either legitimately too busy, less likely, or his feelings are just not high enough to make him want to make the time. In either case, you've got to let it go, focus your energies on yourself and other men who are more compatible and more willing to make the time for you right now. I hope that answers your question, Sardonic. The final question comes from Reet. And Reet says, I have a question from my friend. Her boyfriend loved her madly, or loves her madly. He still loves her. But he became reluctant after knowing the truth that his girlfriend, I think I'm supposed to say his girlfriend, had 3 relationships in the past. But girl is over her past and now completely in love with this guy, but she did hide her past from him. They both want each other and truly love each other, but now boy is stuck mentally. He takes care of her, adores her, cherishes her, but doesn't go physical with her. Girl wants sex, but boy refuses. They both got tested for STD, so that's fine. Results came back negative. What should my friend do so her boyfriend passionately wants to have sex with her again? It's been 4.5 months since they had sex and even kiss, although they were both dating and investing in the relationship. And it's the boy who initiates or asks her out the majority of the time, so how can girl make him want to have sex with her again? I got a few more details on Reet just to answer this question better. So they're both Indian, they see each other once a week roughly, they chat on the phone almost every night, and the boy actually blocked her for about a whole month at one stage because of this, but came back a month later and said he missed her and she is his first, which does not surprise me in the slightest. Okay, what we have here is a guy who is really insecure with a girl's past. Now, for the girl, it certainly does not help that she lied about it, but she hid her past from him. So this is probably an Indian cultural thing, but she's buying into someone else's reality. She's buying into someone else's reality, and as a result, she lied to him. She said, oh, I haven't had previous people. She raised his expectations, she put him in one place because she was buying into someone else's reality instead of owning her own relationship history and owning where she was. And now she's ended up in a lie, built up his expectations, and he has gone, well, I'm now really insecure with this. So, from her point of view, she could certainly have owned her situation better and definitely not started out by lying about it. I doubt the situation would have developed had she not done that. She either wouldn't be with him or the guy would have got comfortable with it over time. As it stands right now, this is still his reaction, his insecurity, and his responsibility. So what the friend can do is the friend can own it. The next move from the friend is to go, look, I lied to you and I shouldn't have. That was my mistake. I regret it and it's not something I'll ever do again. I learned my lesson. And then she has to say, but my past is what it is. It's not going to change. So you can either accept me for that or not, but I'm not going to wait around forever or really for any longer in a relationship that does not meet my needs. Physical closeness, sexual intimacy is one of her needs, and she has every right to ask for that. So this is on him now. She can own her mistakes and be vulnerable and express that to him, but then the ball's in his court. This guy either gets over his shit or he doesn't. His call. But he doesn't get to come back after a month because he missed her, deciding that, okay, I've buggered this up, I was wrong. Okay, you're either in or you're out, mate, and then you're going to stick to your decision. She can support him in getting through that, but he has to be taking active action to get past his insecurities. And right now, it's been 4.5, 5 months, your friend Reed is not getting her needs met, and she needs to pull him up on this and essentially give him an ultimatum. The word ultimatum gets a lot of nasty sort of thoughts associated to it, but sometimes it's just putting your boundaries in place, putting your standards in place. And that's what your friend has to do right now. Her boundaries are leaking. She's getting a relationship that only meets parts of her needs, and it's his responsibility. She has to own her part of this, apologize for it, but then it's on him. So Reed, I hope that answers your question, and let me know your question too. Pop it in the comments below. Ask Mark every week. We're up 20 now, so it's going so fast, which is super exciting. Lots of videos on the channel for you guys. I'll have another one out on Thursday night, which I think you're going to really enjoy. Like I say, make sure you ask your question below, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I shall see you again in Ask Mark very soon.